Now, welcome to a discussion and review of Tales of the Empire, where we're just going to be covering the 3 Barriss episodes here and do a separate video for Morgan Elsbeth. And since I've already done a review over on my other channel, let us start with your thoughts on these 3 episodes.
Overall, I feel like I was a little disappointed by this arc. I feel like it was, by the number, you could say. We have Barriss bad, Barriss did horrible things.
Did she, though? We don't really get that impression. I think that's one of my biggest gripes is we don't really get an impression that she has done terrible things.
She accused Ahsoka of horrible things. She called out the Jedi as being bad people. She was heading down a dark path, put in jail. Then she joins up with Inquisitorious programs, and one episode later, because they decided not to give us any sort of timing context, she's having second thoughts.
Well, I don't think she was ever fully on board. She's shown to have...
How did they not know she wasn't fully on board?
That is a really good question.
Isn't this their job?
Yes. You would think Vader would walk into that room and sense her doubt.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, and apprehension. And instead it's like, give her a helmet and send her on her first mission. I think that's another one of my
We don't even know if
complaints.
that's her first mission. We have no idea how many missions she went on beforehand.
I get a pretty good feeling that's mission number 1.
I don't know, because she was right away questioning the intel. It sounded like maybe we've gotten bad intel before about Jedi being somewhere, and they might. I feel like she's been doing it for a little while.
I got the impression that was the first mission.
See, because of the whole questioning the intel, I thought maybe she'd been on a few of these and been like, well, these haven't always panned out, have they? And she's like, well, the information this time comes from, and she's like, oh.
Maybe.
So, yeah, hard to say. Unspecified amount of time, and they're like, right away, like, look, I'm going to be very nice to the small child and get the intel we need. And
what's
then,
the Jedi way?
But she knows.
Compassion.
She called the Jedi out for being hypocrites and horrible, and then she falls into Jedi training after she murdered somebody and was taught about the dark side in a way. She just throws that all aside because she wants to talk to a kid. And boom,
she's trying to get the information.
I'm a good person again.
I'm not going to disagree with you, and I know a lot of people out there did not like these episodes for various reasons, many of the ones you're kind of citing here. I will say I really liked what they tried to do here. I liked that it was a kind of a Star Wars feeling story with redemption, and we could talk about how many characters get redeemed and how kind of silly that gets, yes. But if you take it just as it is and realize this is like a 40-minute story, I think it's good for what it is. Now, if this had been like a 4-episode Clone Wars arc and you had the time to really get into it, maybe show her on another mission or two, get into her training more, show her falling to the dark side instead of doing this one Force choke, and it's like, oh, yep, now she's dark side, even though she just defended herself. In all reality, there was no other choice.
Well, it wasn't even just that though. It was the fact that then in the last episode, the roundup episode, she had to redeem Lynn as well.
That is the part I kind of rolled my eyes at.
Yeah, well, and it's just like, oh, look, it's one of Filoni's girls. We can't be dark side forever. Cue Ventress.
Well, Ventress had the time, right? Ventress comes... She doesn't come back to the light, I wouldn't say. She becomes
her
a bounty
book
hunter.
Did just leagues for making her a well-rounded character.
Yeah, in the book, she kind of is more light side than dark side. I hate to use the term gray, but she does kind of fall into that really kind of hard to pin down category of where she falls on the spectrum of the light to the dark. But she has a very well-rounded story. She shows up way back in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. She's very evil in the first couple seasons. She has the little incident on Dathomir that kind of propels her down the path of bounty hunter. Then the whole, Ahsoka.
Well, I feel like that's why I'm let down with this. If you're going to tell a Barriss story, give us the full give us a full story. Make everything make sense rather than rushing through story beats like I gotta go, because the whole thing felt too rushed. She went from, look, I've been turned to the dark side, to I'm having second thoughts, now I'm leaving the dark side, to I'm going to save a darksider. Those were literally the 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And it was too much.
12-minute episodes, yeah.
It was too much too quickly.
No,
All of a sudden, the last episode, I'm wise mother, and I clearly work for the path. We're sending the child to somebody.
I don't know that she clearly works for the path.
No, because she knew where to send the kid. I
think she's sending her to Ahsoka, right?
There's a good chance of that.
That's the old friend she references.
Or Ventress. I'm kidding.
Well, those two, yeah.
No, she
stole their lightsabers. Yeah. They're not friends.
No.
Though they could be working together.
We don't know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of question marks about why this story now. Is it to help set up the path? Will she be a part of it? Will Asajj be in it? Will we see Asajj and Barriss meeting again? I don't know. A lot of questions.
A lot of questions. Like I said, the pacing was probably the biggest problem because
Yeah.
to give somebody a fall to the dark side, redemption, and then becoming a redeemer, it's too quick.
Fall Redemption Redeemer. That's what the 3 episodes should have been called.
Yes. Too quick for 3 episodes. I would have loved if they could have slowed down and taken their time. And maybe Filoni needs to just let one of his girls be bad.
I think this is like I said, I like the story. I like what it's trying to say. I like what it's going for. I like the actual, I know a lot of people are going to disagree. I like the ending about her line about, fear is not your ally, it's your master. And to get out of the cave, she needs to have compassion. I like a lot of what it's trying to do, but I do agree it's just way too fast, especially with Lynn. It's like, she's been doing that for years. She's been doing that for like 10, 12 years at that point.
We saw her in Kenobi. We know.
So we know this is post-Kenobi.
Yes.
Which is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So she's been an Inquisitor for over a decade, and it's like, here's Barriss again. I get lost in a cave, and I'm like, light side again. Yay! Mm-hmm. It's too fast. But I like the concept. I like the idea of it. And again, we do have too many characters getting redeemed all the time.
All the time.
I did the video on that yesterday. Kind of diminishes the power of the dark side when everybody comes back.
The only good thing that I really appreciate, aside from some of the points you brought up, of course, is that they gave closure to a long-standing question of what happened to Barriss.
Well, did we get, closure? Or
she's dead. No, she's dead. She died this time.
She only got stabbed by a lightsaber. That isn't fatal.
She's not a Darksider, so getting stabbed by a lightsaber...
Sabine wasn't a Darksider. She got stabbed and lived. A lot of people get stabbed and lived.
She didn't live. She's done. She's done. Qui-Gon didn't live. Barriss didn't live.
I like that your list is Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon
didn't live.
No.
So
that's it. Qui-Gon's all I needed for this list.
It's a very short list of people who die from a lightsaber stab. It's Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah. And everybody who went to arrest Palpatine.
But don't worry, Sabine only survived because of a whole bunch of interesting coincidences.
Yeah, because reasons.
Ahsoka was right there and could help with the healing with the stuff on the ship that she had and all that stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Whereas she was carrying a corpse out of a cave. We don't know how long it took her to get out of the cave.
She was still lost for a day in there. Didn't work.
So I'm just saying.
She was mad that Barriss died and was supposed to lead her out, so she went back to the dark side afterwards. She just ditched the body and I'm out of this cave. But I don't know. I don't know if Barriss lives or dies.
Barriss died.
You would think so.
Until Dave decides he wants to use her again, then she'll survive. But now, for current purposes, she's dead. Just like Ventress was currently dead until they decide, hey, I really want to use my character again. I miss my other waifu, and she's back.
Maybe. I don't know.
This is how things work in the Filoniverse.
The Filoniverse is the death.
No one's ever really gone. Not if Filoni liked her.
No. I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't fully like it. I do have issues. I have a lot of issues. It needed to be longer. There were other things they could have done with it, but I enjoyed it. I like, again, what they tried to do. And I do wonder if this leads to more, if this is supposed to be part of the Path show with the Ventress, or who the heck knows.
It's hard to say.
All right. Well, I think that is going to be all we have for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of the Barriss episodes of Tales of the Empire. And next time we will talk about the Morgan Elsbeth episode. See if we have different takes on those. If we liked them, didn't like them.
And at the end, we can rank the 4 Tales stories as to which ones we liked the most and which ones we liked the least.
Speaking of that, did you really feel like this was Tales of the Empire?
No.
Yeah.
No, this didn't feel like Empire at all. They rarely touched on Empire. This was about Dark Side. This was Tales of the Dark Side.
It was, it was.
Series.
Well, both of them were kind of loosely Tales of the Empire, I would say. But
very loose.
This one more loose than even the other one. The other one had some Imperials in it, at least. Well, I mean, Vader's an Imperial. You know what I'm saying, though. Full on, I'm a military Imperial, not just part of the Inquisitor program. All right, I'm rambling. That's all we got for this time. Take the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And thanks for watching.